We are live, people.
You call this alive? Really?
Episode 28.
Episode
28. A Theory of Home. We're going to talk about home today.
home.
Yeah.
Home is where the heart is.
Yeah.
On the other memory card before we had to format it because we ran out of time and space.
Be ready with clinics because we're going to cry a lot probably talking about home. So what do we talk about home today, man?
We're talking about home
Yeah.
because I miss it. I know you miss aspects of it,
Yeah, for sure.
but we actually have a bit of a break from the rain. It's been raining for almost 48 hours straight,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the first bit of real break it looks like we've had. So there's just a lot of things that make me miss home. And the concepts attached and associated with home to me are greater than just a physical location.
Yeah.
This is the case for most people, but I think for a lot of people, they think this idea of home is
Mm-hmm.
a place, a specific, GPS coordinate in the world somewhere.
Mhm.
And that is the place where they call home.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for me, home is more concepts and these things that you can lean into easily.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like a big concept for me is the concept of friends, right?
Yeah.
Typically, your home has friends there.
Right.
And so I think that's a huge factor of why this place is definitely not home for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't have really any friends here other than,
Yeah.
you train with some people and then people we've met in passing, whether they be tourists
Mhm.
or locals, things like that.
Yeah.
So just wanting to get back to U.S. soil.
Yeah, sure, man.
Some
True.
friends,
Yeah. I mean, we miss
concepts.
we miss a lot of things, right? And it's more than complaints that we have some negative things about here, right? We understand those things. It's just that we're just ready to go home. That's more than anything. That it's not that we don't like this place anymore. We a bit talked about why we're living, why we changed our plans.
Mhm.
Because the original plan was to stay there here for at least 6 months or a year. But on the last week's episode, we talked about why we changed our plans and why
Mhm.
we're going back home. And I guess today's discussion is a bit of an extension of that, and plus what we think of home and why it is important for us.
Yeah.
All that, right?
Yeah. It's kind of funny that we're even saying home because
Mm-hmm.
neither of us really
Yeah, I
in the
mean,
U.S.
you
we
and
don't
I,
actually
yeah.
have a physical home. It's not like
Yeah.
there's a place we're going back to in the U.S. specifically
Yeah.
immediately, right?
I mean,
Arizona.
you and I especially have that kind of lives, where most people, or what's considered the normal in any country, is you grow up with your siblings and family, you leave home when you go to college, whatever, after high school, and live your life. I mean, that's sort of like the normal story, right?
Yeah.
But for us, fucking long journey, unconventional journey, right?
Very unconventional.
That's why you lived all over the world when you were young.
Yeah.
And I mean, you were with your family, but
Yeah.
also the laws, growing up from there, all that.
Yeah.
We have such a unconventional life story in relation to home, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Because I left to home early. First time I left to home was I was 13 or 14.
Wow.
I mean, years before that, I found out that my stepmother is not my mom anymore. I discovered that my biological mother exists at the time, like when I was 13 or 12, and then when I was 14. I mean, my teenager turmoil started that, right then when I found out about my biological mother and all that. I didn't go home often, My dad beat me up a lot, but I didn't care, So when I talk to parents or people who have been, I wouldn't say physical abuse. You can call it that way, but from my perspective, I'm a man. You know, none of those physical punishment was unreasonable. You know, I fucked up a lot of things. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that doesn't give him the right to physically beat me up. You know.
Yeah.
But I was a troublemaker. You know, and I'm sure that was his best way to handle with that. You know. So, but anyway, all that, you know, left home months, didn't go back home. You know, the first year of high school, I went back and went to school. You know, graduated. In the meantime, I left home again. I came back, graduated high school. That's when I started kickboxing, and then went to the military. After that is the history, right? I met my ex-wife, left the fucking country.
Yeah,
You know.
pretty big move.
Yeah, all that.
Huge move.
hmm
I mean,
So-
leave the country.
The definition of home has changed a lot for me, for sure. Yeah, for that reason. You know, when I was young, home was where there's rice and kimchi, basically. You know, my grandma. You know,
So in there.
you know where my grandma is, right? But she passed. You know, I'm not really close to my parents. So like I was born and raised in South Korea, but I don't really currently when I say home, I'm not referring to South Korea. I'm more
Yeah.
of referring to US. I don't know why it's become that way. I mean, still I have, as you know, I have close friends in Korea. I have my sister and families, but I consider US more of my home
Mm-hmm.
because my values have changed a lot dramatically actually since I met my ex-wife. Since I moved to the U.S., my value system changed dramatically. You know,
Wow.
so that's why I think I consider home, U.S. home today.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big life change. Value system changing entirely. Cultural. I mean, sure, there's a lot of things shared from the U.S. culture to me, other cultures that permeate, but entirely different experience to be in the middle of it, especially
Yeah.
since you can get a very different experience depending which city you go to in the
Yeah.
U.S. But you're in Dallas, so that's a major city. That's definitely not. It's not the middle of nowhere
Yeah.
by any means.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure culture shock, to a degree, was a real thing. Just kind of adjusting, and once you finally found you've adjusted to something that is that big and different, I think oftentimes you don't realize how much of an impact it had on you
Mm-hmm.
until you're away from it again, or enough time has elapsed so you can look back to who you were or what you were and that type of value system and stuff. And you can see like, oh shit, my life is way different. Sometimes I feel like I have memories or I think about certain things or who I was or where I was, and I feel almost like that was an entirely different person. Like, it's very hard to believe sometimes that that was part of my reality.
Yeah.
That actually happened. That's
Yeah.
who I was. I'm like, whoa. Very strange, surreal feeling,
Yeah.
but also uniquely powerful because you realize change is possible and capable.
Yeah.
And then you live in a new world because of it.
Yeah.
I mean, even what we were watching yesterday when we were watching the documentary that talked about
Yeah.
weed and the blatant racism with all the laws and things like that. And I was like, whoa. I mean, I've heard of some of these things, but I didn't think it was like outright actual racism. But then to see that and the evidence they provide to show that kind of
Right.
also made me feel like, wow. And I've always felt like this. Obviously, we're here. I've always felt like the U.S. is fucked up in a lot of ways and has its problems. But this isn't one I would have thought was actually legitimately a problem.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
we didn't
we had
do-
heard about it, right?
Yeah, but you didn't smoke. I didn't smoke. We never did weed. So unless you're in that culture
Yeah.
and have a more robust understanding of,
Yeah.
marijuana and drugs and things like that, weed, specifically weed,
Yeah.
you would never associate that with, the African American community
Yeah.
or where its origins from
Yeah.
and how you would just never see like how impactful and commonplace that is unless you were actually a user or had friends or something like that. And I mean, even the term user summons this kind of gross negative thing. But I guess what I'm saying is like that to me kind of highlighted like, oh shit, there's things that need to be changed and worked on in the US, and you can be one of the proponents of doing it. You know, like there's things that can get better. Yeah. You can help spread good information and kind of demystify these things around drugs and then highlight the issues around, racist and things of that nature. I thought that was exciting. It made me feel, I don't want to say homesick, but kind of compelled to be like, oh man, I want more people to be aware of what's going on. Like it was very weird to be like, oh, that's my home and it's fucked up. I think that's like
I think that's because you care about it, right? Yeah, I think so. I feel in a similar way too. That one, before that feeling, I was thinking that wow, I had no idea about this, but after all, this including weed in the this scheduled substance 1 category 1, right? Was nothing more than just another form of oppression.
Yeah, totally.
And the documentary did a great job. I mean, the storytelling was great because the first half they talked about how great it is, the funny part of it, fun part of it rather, and then they made a transition to why we're here today, touched on history, and then gradually, the core problem of the weed, right? Which is racism. So that was really refreshing. I thought I knew a lot about U.S. history, but I guess, it made me feel like, wow, I had to know, I didn't have any idea about it.
It's hard to even look at the U.S. as the same anymore. Honestly, I'm like,
we know some policies like that, right? I mean, we know that, right? But I just felt like very ignorant yesterday. Just watching that, wow, I had no idea. Yeah. I mean, I had fucking no clue.
I think for me, it's because I usually put things more towards, negative stereotypes about home in regards to capitalism. Right. I just see things as kind of financially fucked up. They're taking advantage of people. The means of production are controlled by the elite, blah, blah, blah. And I think it's more of a capitalistic problem. Yeah. But then that highlighted even drugs. Yeah, there's a capital gain for people, for sure. Entirely a real thing. But the people that are disproportionately affected in passing these laws, back when they did, or if they're currently doing the same thing, was legitimately racism. Like, legitimately racism. Not even about just money.
Yeah. I mean, entirely.
I was like, whoa.
Entirely motivated by racism. Entirely.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
I almost felt it's one of this is the thing about knowledge. Every time you learn, like truly learn something, you feel kind of ashamed that you didn't know. Yeah. Kind of like what the it's so obviously like right there. I had no idea.
Yeah, I feel like I missed out on it,
What is happening?
Yeah. But now we know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just speechless when I saw it. But we're making amends, right? This is just a big subject. I don't wanna conclude this with shining solution. I don't have one. Yeah. Okay. But it's just I'm not devastated by the fact because it's the past, right? We all know how severe the racism was before. It's just part of it at the end, I think. I'm not saying that was a good thing. I'm just saying that it's just part of all the things that were happening. It's not standing out alone problem. Yeah. So I think in that sense, it's not devastating to me. It's all the past, all in the past. we're making amends, we're making progress, you know.
Yeah.
And it's
very
really
slow.
unique
It's
to
very interesting to see where
yeah,
we're
for
at.
sure,
We're in the
very slow. That's for sure.
very
I mean,
early
it's
stages.
yes. Also, I felt like wow, that's still echoing. At least when it comes to weed, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, this, you know, law surrounding it, and how we approach it, how we look at it today, is still based on the echo of, you know, initial racism. You know, so that's kind of like, in your words, like made me ashamed a little bit in that sense. But again, I think it's I'm more optimistic about it that we're making changes. We're more aware of it. I mean,
Yeah.
for God's sake, that documentary is on Netflix. You know what I mean? Like, anybody can watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's
I don't.
not,
Do you
it's
remember
not a
what the
lie
name was?
anymore.
I
It's
don't
not
remember
a-
what the name was. My bad.
Grass is green. I think something
Oh,
like that.
the grass is greener
Yes,
or something.
something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
something along the line.
We'll add the notes to the show info.
Yeah, but it was
YouTube.
a good documentary for
Very
sure.
well done.
But I've said this many times to people that
research.
I'm not an advocate of Netflix, but Netflix has a lot of good documentaries. I think more than other platforms, just because they have a bigger pool of talents
Yeah.
and money, right? It's basically like comparing between Hollywood and, I don't know, like Singapore cinema, right? I mean, the market size is so different, right? I mean, you can expect a lot more quality and things from bigger market, right? So Netflix has really good documentaries.
Yeah. And if you use the theory of letting to code right now, subscribe. Could you imagine?
You wish.
Could you imagine?
You wish Netflix.
Dude, they could give us
Get us
100% of the proceeds and we'd still make no money. So they're like, for
Yeah.
every subscriber.
Yeah, this is the first episode of the half point, 28, right? Oh, wait a second. No, second, right? Because the halfway is 26.
26,
Yeah. So second episode after the half point. And
We decided to change the entire aim of the podcast. It's only be about hallucinogenics, drugs, racism, and home.
yeah, but
Everything at home.
What was the? We're talking about home. We sidetracked too much.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one of the things, though,
Mhm.
about home.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, now, like, are you excited actually going back home? Like, now you're gonna have supplies, no
Yes.
problem. You know.
Yes, I agree. That sounds like a problem. I will answer that question in 2 minutes when we get to
Yeah.
our Patreon members.
You know, one thing that changed for me here is that I would never smoke. Even, you know, like, because before I had no idea it affects my cardio. But now I know it does, because before, the most strenuous thing I would do is running. And running, I guess I didn't really feel that smoking weed affects my cardio a lot. I didn't feel that at all, actually. But then I think it has to do with the fact that I smoked cigarettes too during the time. So maybe when I felt like, okay, this is affecting me, I attribute it to smoking cigarettes probably. So it is possible that way. But anyway, the point is, now I know for a fact that smoking weed affects my cardio, my
Yeah.
lungs, right? So that's a permanent change for me from this experience in Thailand, because I'm doing Muay Thai twice a day training right now. I don't think I will never go back to smoking weed, even, in any form. I think I'm going to just stick with edibles.
Yeah.
And besides, I love edibles. I prefer edibles. Edible high is way better for me. I don't know how you guys think of it, but edible high is way, way better. Not even comparable.
Yeah. They're very different, right? They're very,
Yeah.
very different. But if you like this content, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you got any recommendations for any crazy strains out there, man, just recommend them, bro.
Yeah. Well, our Patreon, Lee, asked us to film my fight on 13th.
Oh, they don't even know.
Yeah. Did I not announce that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so this is a free version still. We're going into 20 minutes, but yeah, I'm gonna have my first fight here in Thailand, June 13th.
Wow.
Yeah, in Phuket, Patong,
2 weeks.
Stadium. Mhm.
Literally 2 weeks
Yeah.
from today, right?
Yeah. Yeah, from today.
Wow.
2 weeks from now. So.
Oh, shit. Let's take bets. Place them. We won't show you what the other guy looks like because we don't know.
We're going to
But-
film it for sure. But
All right.
yeah.
Shall we switch
that
over?
That was the end of our free version this week.
Okay. Get ready for this
Alright.
epic fight.
Thank you
All right,
guys.
see you next
Next
week.
week. Bye. All right. We're back. For our Patreon members.
Patreon members talk about drugs.
We did it last week. Kinda.
Yeah. I mean, it's always fun to talk about drugs now that
Yeah.
I'm cool and smoke them and eat them.
Inject them.
Okay, that's a little extreme.
No, we're not going there,
No.
right? We'll never get there.
Fuck no. I'm not about to
We'll
inject
never go
anything.
there. I'm sorry. Never get there. So passive.
Yeah.
We'll
I
never
mean,
go
hopefully
there,
the car never
okay?
gets there.
But we're talking about home today, right?
Yeah. Miss it. Can't wait to go back. And it's only a few weeks away. But
Yeah.
with this rain, it feels like an eternity.
Yeah. Man. At the end of our free version earlier, announced that I'm going to have a fight in Thailand, Muay Thai fight, 13th, 2 weeks from now.
Wait, not a ladyboy fight? I thought you were having a...
You piece of shit, you know that?
Why?
But after that, we haven't decided yet whether or not we're going to stay a little more, or, I mean, that's not a question, I'm sorry. Want to go to Europe or just go back home right away, right?
Yeah.
We'll have to decide it.
I'll have to flip a
In the
coin and
last
see what
week.
happens. You know?
Well, because Italy is open, looks like.
Italy is open.
Yeah, Korea is not an option anymore because what was the
You've got to get a
policy,
booster.
the
To be
rule?
completely
Yeah.
vaccinated, you have to have a booster at least within the last 180 days.
Yes, that was it, right?
So,
And then we don't
don't
want to do
have
that
that.
just for that, right?
I mean, for one, they don't have the vaccine we took
Yeah.
here. I don't want a booster that I'm not sure. I'm sure I can Google and find out info
Mhm.
about it. But also, you got sick from your vaccine.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I don't
It's,
want
it's just all these factors that I'd rather not deal with. I'd
Right.
rather just go somewhere else. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking forward to Korea, meeting all your friends and family, and
Mhm.
the climbing gym, having a climbing gym again. I
Yeah.
was stoked for that.
Yeah,
But-
but
And
we'll
then-
see. Maybe it'll change. Who knows,
Yeah,
right?
could,
I mean, they
could.
just opened, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
It's
Not
been a
even a
while,
month ago, right? So things can change even from now. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we talked about, I guess, while we were going back earlier in the free version, right? What do you miss the most? I mean, I guess it's similar to what we talked about earlier. That
Yeah,
while we were
I mean-
going back, what you miss? But
I mean, friends for sure.
mhm,
And I mean, for my personal self, like my own like personal well-being,
mhm.
climbing, like for sure.
Gym-
Definitely
gym climbing.
Climbing at the gym.
Yeah,
And it's not having the gym, it's just being able to go train whenever I
Yeah.
want to and need to.
yeah,
Because, I mean, we've been here for 3 months, which is, we got here March, right? So
Yeah.
March, April, May. It's been 3 months.
yeah,
And that's a long time to have very inconsistent with your sport.
mm-hmm.
That's a quarter of the year.
Yeah,
Basically, I've been climbing maybe once a week
yeah,
for the last 3 months. That's like nothing at all.
yeah. True.
So it's kind of, I miss that part. And then, yeah, just friends. I mean, when we were in Phoenix, we didn't really have friends there other than DK.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think all those things add a lot of value
Mm-hmm.
to your life. And then obviously, like the convenience of if you even want to be able to build friendship or relationships with people.
Yeah,
I miss that. I want a romantic relationship. It's just very difficult to do here because you're either talking to a traveler or you don't speak the language, so you can't communicate fully with somebody here. And it just feels like everything's up in the air. So I think having a little more illusion of security or, reoccurring things.
Yeah.
And just getting back to the grind of things. I think that aspect to me is very, very appealing. Where here it's kind of like you just take it day by day. And that's fine for a while, but it's kind of maddening as well.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So,
Totally get it.
How about you?
I felt the same way right up to the point when I started Muay Thai training fully. Before that I was going there, but like twice a week, whatever. Whenever I felt like going, right?
Yeah.
But now I have a goal, which is a fight.
Yeah.
So this is a full fight camp. I train 6 hours a day, every day, Monday through Saturday, guys. I'm training like a pro athlete here, so I'm not really feeling like I'm missing out, on anything, because I'm completely occupied by this, But I completely understand what you're saying, because I felt that before I started Muay Thai training, a lot of things, right? Where do I start? Even foods, we're doing our best here, but I kind of miss that easy access to foods, like good foods, like
protein.
Anywhere you go, you have any grocery store you go, you get all the access to all vegetable, access to all kinds of protein sources, seafood, whatever. Like you get pretty much anything you want, any grocery store you go, like even convenience store,
Yeah.
I miss that, because like there's one grocery store there, as like they don't have a lot of stuff, man. The beef, there's no actually, like, is it all frozen beef, by the way? And they're okay.
Yeah.
And
No
I
fresh.
miss fresh beef, fresh seafood, vegetables, all sorts of vegetables, leek, chives, and you get all this shit. I love to
A lot of
cook.
variety in the U.S., right?
The bok choy, all the vegetables that I like. But here I found myself, my selection is very small because my choice is small. So I eat pretty much a few things, like just rotate them throughout the week, or eat out. We eat out
a lot. This is the most I've ever eaten out in my life.
So this is just another aspect of inconvenience, but overall I would say the convenience.
Yeah.
For whatever,
Yeah, that convenience is, I think, oftentimes not well understood, because it's more than just convenience to do specific things. It's almost convenience in every avenue of your life.
Yeah.
The only one that I would say is not convenient is like all the healthcare system in the U.S. Went to the doctor the other day, like the hospital, no problem, out and in, X-ray and everything, super easy. Just pay some money. Very straightforward, very well done. I was shocked actually at how convenient and effective and quick it was, because everything else here is definitely not that way. But yeah, there's all those small things like baked into your life in the U.S. That it's just easy to forget about.
Yeah.
And I think
you don't even think of, right?
Yeah, you don't even consider it.
Yeah.
Like how something so small can have such a large impact on your quality of life once you've gotten used to it. Don't get me wrong, you get used to this too. Like, still find joy and happiness, but it's not like maximal. You're not like getting the max return. And there's an argument to be had about happiness and efficiency, if those things should go hand in hand. And I would argue, probably in our culture and our society, that efficiency is too closely correlated and related with being happy too much. But this is definitely too far the other way. Too inconvenient.
And there's like level to it when you were talking about, oh, I miss this thing, convenience back home. Well, I don't know about you, but to me, that I'm not like saying it in a way that, oh, I can't deal with this anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's just that the convenience I feel more like in comparison seems more magnified. That's what I'm saying. Other than the climbing part and other the essential parts that we're missing here, all the inconveniences, I can deal with them. It's not a big problem. Right, it's just that by comparison, it seems more, visible to us. Right now because we're.
If somebody told me you have to live here for the rest of your life,
Mm-hmm.
make it work. It'd be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It'd totally be fine. Life would still be good.
Yeah,
I would just have to shift a lot of my expectations and desires accordingly. That's the thing. I think we've been here long enough now where I'm confronted with that thing. It's like, okay, you need to either shift your value systems or what's important to you to allow this to be sustainable, or you have to leave. One of the two things, because being in the middle is just unhappiness or despair or depression or whatever we want to call it if you're in the middle ground.
Yeah.
So, like for me in that regard, the choice is simple. Like, oh, this isn't for me. I'd rather be somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I think most people don't even get to the point where they realize they're in that situation because they never leave what they consider bad. Like, I'm going to be very thankful for a lot more things going back.
Mm-hmm.
And there'll be things here I miss. It's always going to be this ebb and flow, this wave of like, damn, we had that really good there. I didn't realize because I'm not there. Kind of like the curse of, I think, just being human is that you're always aware of what was, and the lack thereof now.
Yeah.
Because you can just use your brain to make comparisons, which can be damaging.
Yeah.
You've got to find the happy middle ground. But I'm very excited to eventually, we're going to be going back. It'll be summertime, so that sucks a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of the heat. Fucking tired of it. But fall is coming. It's going to be great.
Yeah. So, we're going back where?
I'd like to hit the West Coast. Denver, obviously. Marty and Tasha are there.
Mm-hmm.
Can do hiking, mountains, climbing. Like, you can do everything outdoors.
Yeah.
West Coast would be nice to hit, though, especially this time of year because it's still cooler there. Green.
Definitely should. Yeah.
There's all the other stuff to see. You've never seen the West Coast. I love the West Coast. So, just not Phoenix.
What do you mean I've never seen West Coast?
We've never been like in the West Coast, like along the coast, right? Have you? California, but that's not like that's.
I guess. Yeah.
It's huge. There's so much more to see, like Lake Tahoe,
Oregon,
Washington. That's the West Coast. What I'm talking about.
Okay.
More like the Route 66. I think that's the route, the really scenic highway.
Yeah, Northwest. I think you mean like.
Yeah, Northwest. Yeah. Not like.
Right. Yeah. Boring part of
Not Southwest. Don't get me wrong. There's Utah and all that stuff and beautiful things to see, but bro, it's gonna be way too hot in July. You can see parts of it.
Yeah.
You have to be at elevation. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. But anyway, I miss those things, man. I miss more structured, more freedom to structure things. Yeah. That's what I miss. Like about food, like I like to have full control of what I'm doing, whether that's eating, whether that's training, and that's possible back home.
Yeah.
It's harder here, It's not impossible, but it's definitely harder. And certain aspects are impossible, like climbing, I guess. It's just there's no gym here.
Yeah.
But
you can go outside, like we've talked about many times, but for bouldering specifically.
Yeah.
And like training to improve.
Mm-hmm.
You could find a way, but it's very, very inconvenient.
Yeah.
Because you're either training in the hot sun, mosquitoes, bad conditions, blah, blah, blah. And again, you can still make the most of it. But when I know I can go and be in an alternative condition that's more effective, then I'm going to do that. I still hangboard here, still do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Still make the most of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of funny if you can't get those few key areas of your life regiment in the way you want them, then all the other areas kind of don't really matter. You're just kind of like, well, it's hard to enjoy. Like, it's even hard to enjoy, you know, if you're going to party or have a good time, because I don't feel like I'm checking the boxes of the essentials.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, I don't really care about the extracurricular activities. If I'm not getting my core curriculum done, then what's the point? Like, I know I'm cheating myself.
Yeah.
I can't just be like, I can't just have a good time on the beach. I'm just not one of those people. I've never been one of those people that can go just hang out on the beach and do nothing. I've never been somebody who's like, I want to just do nothing for 2 weeks for vacation. I fucking hate that. I hate doing nothing.
Yeah. Well, but a lot of people like that because
people love it.
Well, because they're typically they do, you know, their work and completely exhausted from it. Yeah. So all they want to do is just chill. So
I get it, and that's fair. That's totally
the other day too. I'm like you too. But the other day when I was in Phuket, I went to Kamala Beach, and I was high, sun setting. You know, God, it was so beautiful, and you like it, you know.
Yeah.
When you're high, you can be there for hours, dude, just drinking beer, just watching. You're not doing anything. There's no people there. There's no show going on.
Just like,
but you just watch the beauty of nature for hours. Yeah. And it was great. So, but if I'm not high, probably it's harder. Or there's, you know, friend, or there's, you know, person that you like to be with.
Yeah. See, that's fine with me as long as I have to do some work to get to that vantage point. Like, here it's easy. You just fucking drive up and you're there. Like, if you have to like hike to the top of the mountain to get the vantage point and then enjoy it, hell yeah, that's awesome. Because all that work is culminating to that payoff. Right. For me, it's I need the work is essential to actually get satisfaction from the payoff. Like, there's no real satisfaction for me unless there's effort involved. Right. I think most people, though, can, for whatever reason, segregate and separate those two a little bit easier than I can. I'm just like, I've got to really be fucking tired to want to do nothing, or like really beat down to be like, no, I'm good. I just want to chill and hang out. I mean, how often does that happen? Yeah. Especially outside the influence of like weed. Yeah. Like, that never happens almost ever. Right. Like, you know what, man? I'm just going to relax today. Just enjoy the day, man. Never, ever. Even now, even when it's, well, it's not raining right now, but all day I've just been like, I love the rain. I love it. But I'm like, goddamn rain, because it stopped me from climbing again. Because I tried yesterday. I got soaked trying to go climb yesterday. Yeah. And the same thing's happening today. And it's like, ooh, there's a moment. Maybe I can go right now. But I know it's a fucking trick from hell. It's a lie. Right. It's a Thai lie.
Well, it's officially raining season now, right? So,
apparently, yeah.
I don't
know what the fuck I was thinking.
So this is the first time we've gotten rain like this.
Yeah.
Right? Just nonstop. So.
Yeah, so just tell me how the fight goes in Phuket. You know, I'm going to be on the plane. I'll get everything. Yeah. I'll send you footage of me in the mountains somewhere in Colorado. I'd be like, how's that hot weather in Phuket, buddy?
It's going to be fine, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, totally fine.
Soon, too. What time are we at? I feel like
we're about like 19 minutes in.
We're only 19 minutes in?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm sorry to all the people that are paying for this garbage. I guess just missing home is it's why people write stories, books about it, movies. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like that feeling though. Because you occasionally have feelings that are, you know, popular in the common, I guess, zeitgeist or you know, television, movies, like these reoccurring themes you see commonly all the time. But when you get like an actual personal experience with it, like I'm having right now, being, for lack of a better term, homesick, it makes you really appreciate those concepts. And also you appreciate when it's represented in media better. I can see it like, oh shit, yeah, totally. I totally understand being homesick.
Yeah.
Or now I can see it if I see it in a movie and be like, oh, they're doing a really good job of representing that. That is very much what it's like. Or you'd be like, oh shit, not even close. Like this movie sucks. That's not even close to what it's like.
Right.
So I even though it's difficult in a lot of ways, still very appreciative for the experience and the value that's given me, because it's given me a more well-rounded picture of the world and reality.
Yeah.
And who I am and how I fit in that place and who I want to be. So that's crazy. That's cool, because I never ever thought I would ever feel like I had a home. I don't even necessarily feel like I have a home physically.
Yeah.
I've got, home is like friends and relationships and people and things like that. And I guess some activities, like I feel at home when I'm climbing. So there's a home in that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool to think about. You have a home in an activity. I also miss like playing guitar and like trying to sing. I was like, man, I want to spend more time doing that stuff. I've been writing a lot more.
Right.
So I see those things I'm missing out on, and it's kind of nice because you realize you don't have unlimited amount of time.
Yeah.
And you need to spend your time actively working towards those things that are important to you. And granted, we've only been here 3 months, so it's not like we've had a huge loss of time. It just highlights more how I want to spend my time. And again, that's the powerful thing about experience, like we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
Go out, get experience. It helps shape your reality and your world of what's important and unimportant. If you're willing to investigate it. Because I think it'd be easy for a lot of people to be in this situation and you feel the emotional pain that comes with not having your life 100% line up with your ideal.
Yeah.
Right? And I think when that happens for most people, it doesn't happen in situations like this. It happens in relationships, jobs, or whatever. And rather than realize they're dealing with, oh, my life is not lining up with the ideal, and then shifting either their life or their ideal, they just, like I mentioned before, they just lash out. Or you can be upset and you treat people around you poorly. Yeah. All these negative things. Like even all this, even though like unhappy in certain ways, like I'm not taking it out on you. It's just like you're not taking it out on me, or I'm not taking it out on other people. It's just like, oh, okay, just actively work to change it. That's cool. Like you're empowered by realizing, oh, I see what's wrong. Like what am I missing here? What can I do to fix it? Just like your diet, you're like, oh, we're cramping up. Take more of this nutrient or mineral or vitamin or whatever, and you can solve the issue. And I think that alone is very powerful and cool, because you just don't have that when you're younger. You just don't know. Yeah. You don't even realize you can fix things. Yeah. Like, okay, it's fixable. I just got to do this. Yeah. Like, that might be exhausting. Might be a bummer. Just like a workout routine. Oh, my cardio sucks. Oh, I guess I got to go run every day. Yeah. But you can fix it. And that alone makes your life entirely different. Yeah. It changes it, because eventually you do fix these things.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I think, while you're talking about it, it made me think that, home is really where, I mean, there are a lot of ways to put this, but home is where, like you're not resentful. You're fully satisfied, that whether that being your friends, families, or gyms, the nature, whatever, it's ideal for you, it's where your will can fully manifest,
I like that. Home is where your will can fully manifest. That's fucking good. I'm gonna write that down right now so we don't forget.
That's how I feel. I mean, again, we have a lot of different ways to put this, but because like a long time ago, I was in a relationship where I felt, wow, this is like I've never felt like I'm home with someone, But I felt that. But then, also in a relationship, there are ups and downs, right? Now I'm looking back. There were moments when I was resentful, not happy. Yeah. Now I know why. But also makes me think that, okay, that could have been better, Yeah. I was able to call it home. I was able to make adjustments to it. I was able to fix it, I I guess where I'm getting at is that just because you're not fully satisfied at the moment doesn't mean that that place cannot be your home. You know?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You just
It's not like, you are an object and there is a perfect mold for you to fit in,
Yes.
It's not like that. You have to find the mold. It's not the mold that finds you, but it's you who needs to find the mold.
Got to shape it out, cut it out, right?
Exactly. That's what I feel like while we're talking about home. Ideal place, ideal conditions, right? You have to make it, right? It's not someone else.
Yeah, you're kind of like a mason, right? You're just sitting there with your, I don't really like the way that. Okay, let's just, those are all the experiences.
Yeah. I mean, it could be materials, like when you talked about guitar earlier, one of the few materials that you care about, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. I mean, we don't really care about things.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of stuff at home,
Dude,
a few boxes, right?
We brought everything or let me rephrase that. We didn't bring everything we own, but we have everything we need.
Yeah.
And there's only a couple things that I feel like the guitar, like you mentioned. But other than that, I mean, we have everything physically we need.
Yeah.
And now we got a French press. That's that's pretty big.
Yeah.
That's cool. You're right. That's cool to realize that more and more of your life is in your control, right? And it's just how you use the materials or the objects at hand to make the most of it. And that's part of, like checking out the West Coast. I think it'd be cool to get a better idea of like, because like we kind of talked about before, New York is a very strong candidate right now for a place to stay. But, look at the West Coast, look where we go. Maybe we see somewhere it's like, oh shit, this is cool. Like, okay, yeah, maybe there's not a great, job here to take on, but this place is cool enough to warrant finding a way that, is even without the job.
Right.
Worth staying in a place like this. So there's still part of me that holds on to that possibility and the excitement around that idea of like, holy shit, this place is so cool. I don't want to leave it. Like whatever is necessary to do it.
Yeah.
Because I think there is a place like that out there in the world. I believe so. It's not here, I don't think, though. That's the thing. But it'd be dope to find a place where you're like, wow, this place is fucking cool. Yeah. Like, it's got everything you need, everything you want, and then you start carving out, right? You get the raw material, you're like, okay, let's see what we can do with it.
Exactly.
For a year or 2 years, like, try to carve it out something really unique because the base material you're working with is special. Yeah. And then of course the craftsman is way more important than the material. Yeah. Of course. Good craftsman can make anything out of the material.
100%.
But we're good enough craftsmen at this point, at least to realize like I don't want to work with this material. At least that's what I see from Thailand. Yeah. And specifically, I don't want to work with this material. Yeah, we could make it work, but it's not the ideal material.
Yeah, it's not like because it aligns with our desire to experience new things, right? Because we've talked about so many times that like what's the point of living in a dot? Like if you zoom out from Earth and looking down from space, like you live your entire life in a dot. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. I don't want to live like that. Yeah. I don't want to live like that. I want to experience all of the world. Yeah. And, not to say that I have to step every part of the ground on Earth. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm not going to, struggle to just stay in one point either, Yeah.
That's isn't that the thing? Wow. When you put it that way, how much we struggle to try and stay in one point.
Yeah, we do.
Like, we fight for that little bit of ground.
Yes. You feel super uncomfortable. Just leaving home, like, I want to go back home, Like, we are in a way that way. But, again, like you said, because, these conditions here are not, do not align with our ideals. And we knew that there would be an end here. It's just that we're calling it a little earlier than our plan.
Expected,
Yeah, that's all. It's not like we can live here. We can. We totally can. We'll probably fucking get a loan and get a moonboard or something. I mean, we will stay here if we want to, Yeah. But the thing is, you know, our idea has been always that way. We want to experience new things. I mean, this was the whole idea coming to Thailand, you know, experiencing new things,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, and I don't want to just fight to be in one place entire my life, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to. So
Yeah.
that's why we like the plan, you know, like you said, New York is a great candidate so far, but also we're open to other
Still
places
open,
that we
yeah.
haven't really tried, you know.
Yeah.
So everything's open now, basically. So that
Yeah, which is still exciting.
it's exciting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely think that's exciting because it's not done. It's still very much. I'm still waiting to be wowed, you know. Not that, you know, necessarily a play. Like, I'm not expecting the world to give that to me
Yeah.
by any means, but I am a huge believer that when you seek something out in general and you're open to things, things tend to find you. For whatever reason that is, maybe it's just a mindset that enables you to see and receive the world in that way.
Yeah.
Totally could be just the illusion of mindset.
Yeah.
But I do find it an exciting way to live because it brings a lot of good to your life. And the things that you would say initially aren't good, I think you're just maybe looking at them and viewing them through too specific of a lens.
Yeah.
If you can zoom out enough on anything, you can kind of do some work and pull some good
Yeah.
and usefulness out of it conceptually. Yeah, I mean, this is like great. It's kind of like we talk about all the time. Our lives are so different from a year ago. I mean, totally incomparable to where it was a year ago. Again, like I just said before, it feels like I'm living in an entirely different life. Like I fucking jumped into a parallel universe.
Yeah.
If there was not a year between last year and today, if I could just step into who I am today from yesterday, I would be like, this is a parallel universe. We're almost at World War III. You know, like there's all these crazy things that have happened. I would be like, oh, these are two different realities.
Yeah.
But it's just not the case. And it's all just because we stepped out of something we didn't like and start following our dreams, you know, whatever. But being on the path with heart, it's crazy. It always blows my mind in the most empathetic, fulfilling kind of way. Like, it's all good. Like, even the minor pains and aches, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's not like a bad thing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's exciting. It's exciting to see where the next home will be.
Yeah.
Because this was home for 3 months.
Yeah. That's
the
a
truth of
long
it.
time, man. I mean, 3 months is a long time.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we know the things. We have bikes. We've gone through,
Yeah.
legalization processes of everything we need to do to be here. We know how to, if we're going to immigrate, we know how to immigrate. We know where to go, people to talk to. So it's been for a lot. And we got the motorcycles out of it. To me, that's probably one of the coolest. I was thinking about it the other day when I was driving. I was like, man, I'm cool, man. I'm on a motorcycle, like, capable.
Yeah.
Not worried. I'm in a foreign land, like completely by myself.
Yeah.
And it's all good. It's all good. And that level of competency and capability, man, it's infectious. It affects all other areas of your life. So I'm even excited to go back to the U.S. and be like, oh, wow, I'm a different person now.
Yeah.
You know, it's not night and day, but I know how I'm different. I don't need to prove that to anybody, but I'm very excited see how I'm going to navigate my life being back. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's not raining anymore.
It's not raining.
Yeah.
It's finally stopped.
We kind of wanted it.
I know, for the
While
podcast. Literally, we turn on the podcast and it stops
stop.
raining.
Yeah. Of course.
Our one window. The second we want to go outside, it's going to rain. I can tell. You fuckers. I know you did this.
But I really miss good meat. Yeah, that's one thing that I really miss.
Dude. Yeah.
Good meat. Good quality meat.
We'd go every day. Remember, after the gym, we'd fucking, right before getting home, we'd always
Stay.
stop,
Yeah.
get some meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even high quality meat that we get, right?
No, except that one
But still
time.
good.
Remember that one time?
Yeah.
There was one time, guys, we got like, I don't know, it was like $8 maybe for a couple pounds.
Yeah.
They had to have mismarked it. It was such good meat.
Yeah.
I forget what it was. It was almost like ribeye,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Because it makes
I know,
everything so
man.
simple, man. I mean, if
I
the meat
know.
is good, then all I have to cook is some rice and fucking vegetables.
Yeah.
Super simple.
Yeah, it's so good. The
Yeah.
flavor. Fuck.
I mean, I appreciate, don't get me wrong, what I do or what we do normally is not, the best way to experience foods, right? Because like we tried the pork dish yesterday and then sort of like tom yum goong, but like sea bass in it. God, a lot of flavors in it, right? Like that's what I'm talking about. That's great food. That's great cook.
Yeah.
We don't really do that. We just make it simple but delicious,
Yeah.
But
Very basic.
yeah, I mean, this is at least there are a lot of dishes that we've had here that we thought, wow, this is like another world,
Yeah, definitely elevate it.
So I'm gonna miss them for sure, but also I miss how do I say it? Like high quality meat and high quality foods in the U.S.
Yeah. It's just so
restaurants.
easy to hit the
Beers,
nutrients you need.
beers.
Oh my god.
Can't wait for that shit. Gonna get fat again.
Real
Yeah.
beer. But that's also the other thing. It's so easy to
Yeah.
balance because you have
Yeah.
all the options.
Right. True. That's true.
Really easy to balance.
Yeah.
Plus, we'll be
Especially we
hiking.
practice intermittent fasting, so
Pretty
like
religiously.
unless we go crazy, like we've done a little bit here. Like it's
We were getting
really
out of
hard to
shape
get-
there one moment. There was a minute, dude. There was a minute where we
Yeah.
were getting out of shape.
Right.
I mean, we've luckily we knew we could. We always do,
Right.
right? We always do. But
Yeah.
there was definitely a minute where it's like, fuck, man, this is a slippery slope. We're
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
see over the cliff's edge.
Yeah. Exactly. You're on the edge, right? Like you're about to
you
fall.
know you're a piece of shit, and you're like,
Yeah, exactly.
you're like, fuck, man. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
but
awake.
that's where we we make an immediate adjustment, right?
Yeah, hardcore.
Yeah.
It's always hardcore too.
But I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's the fluctuation of those things,
Yeah.
man. But again, I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm okay with it. I don't know about. I don't know how other people do, or like how important it is to be consistent with your, discipline and principles and rules. But to me, those things can bend a little bit.
There needs
I
to be
enjoy
flexibility.
it.
Yeah.
I enjoy that shit. Like especially, when was it? Like 2 weeks ago. Just on a whim, we went to this bar where it has all the imports.
Oh
Fucking,
yeah.
the beer was so
Oh.
goddamn good.
I forgot about that beer. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I took
those
a
things
picture
are,
of it. Yeah.
that's okay, And then when we go back home, we're gonna be crazy, right? Because we we haven't had a good beers in a
Oh
while.
my god, I haven't been hungover in
Yeah.
a very long time.
I'm just really looking forward to good beers and good trips.
I know, man. Fucking talking to girls that speak English. Fucking, it's gonna be nice. Oh, you know what I'm talking about? That's crazy.
Yeah. But again, I mean, we kind of made this comment last week. I mean, we only have 2 weeks here, so I mean, other than my fight.
I got a tattoo in Bangkok on Friday.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get tattoos, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
Fucking stoked.
What are you getting exactly? Where?
That's a secret, Kai.
A secret? Well, to
I'm getting-
Patreon
I'm-
members,
no.
are you gonna keep your secrets? How
Well,
dare you?
Join tier number. No. Yeah, I'm gonna get some traditional Sakyat tattoo.
Yeah, second, yeah.
Yeah. So on the neck, going down the spine.
On the neck.
Well, here, going down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You mean like here?
Yeah.
Back of your neck, starting there?
Yeah, and then going all the way down.
Wow. I thought you were just starting at the top of your back.
No, I think I'm gonna get it I think I'll get it where if I had a collar shirt on, it could cover it, but if I didn't, you could see it. because I think that's like the happy middle ground.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. So I just felt like it'd be strange to not have it kind of or the origin,
Mm-hmm.
at the base of the neck and then terminate at the bottom of the spinal cord. It just seems kind of, it's covering just part of my spinal cord.
Yeah.
To me, I kind of want just the full thing.
Makes sense.
And then if it's not protected, I'm going to break my neck. I gotta protect the neck, man. Fucking Wu-Tang Clan.
And then I think it has a less negative stigma rather, right? Than like side of your neck, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
There's
That's why I'm going. I mean,
it's back of your neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other nice thing, of course, I don't really observe or believe the religious things. I appreciate them.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate them deeply, which is why I wanted to go with like a traditional, somebody who's actually trained, mastered, certified, legitimate, not just some tattoo shop, which is why I'm going to Bangkok for this one specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And I really do value like the spiritual application and meaning.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think there's necessarily a practical application outside of maybe a psychological effect. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't.
Yeah.
But I like that, and I want something to remember here and the impact and what it's meant to me.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we were so anti-tattoo for so long, and I just thought, oh man, this is a cool way to kind of affirm yourself and like take control of your life. It's literally your body. So if you want to put something on it, cool. Like that's a will to power. You're affirmating. It's life affirming. So I'm excited for that, just for my own personal thing. I don't really care what people think of it. I've asked people I care about, so opinion yours, and but yeah, I'm stoked. I'm stoked for it. But that's it. I guess that, and then come back, and then you've got your fight the next week. Hopefully finish this
13th.
fucking climb if I ever get to go outside again.
Finishing your project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's, for me, that's it. That's the only thing I've left. Tattoo and some climbing. That's all I'm going to try to get done. And then one more hike. That Dragon Crest.
Right.
We've got to do that. But that's about it. And I'll be easy. So.
Yeah.
Get some gifts for some friends and call it.
Yeah. But, same here. Fight. Maybe tattoo. I haven't really decided, but if you have any good idea for our,
you said you wanted to do it with
weeks.
a lady boy, right? That's.
Do I want to be a lady boy? Is that what you said?
No, I said you want to do it with a lady boy, right?
That's harder actually. But let us know if you have any idea for our activities or
It's last chance.
Yeah.
Woo!
But we'll see you next week.
Sounds good.
Thank you guys. Bye.